got to go away. And how many of us have friends that on a 6 o'clock at a Sunday night, they go and they look at the watch and they say, I'm sorry, I've got to go home now. Junior's going to call from Raleigh. I get to talk to my grandson for 5 minutes. That's the sadness of it. My dad was an immigrant. His brothers, my grandfather and grandmother were immigrants. They came here and they earned their place in America. They fought in the war. They served. They then worked very hard. They sent 3 kids to school, sent us on to higher education. They gave us the ability to find a pathway into the world. And then we go there and we do our thing, and all of a sudden our governments leave us. They change the rules. Redistribution of wealth, ObamaCare, mandates, Medicaid, social welfare without a need to work to earn that check. That bothers us. Our society's upside down. I can assure you, gentlemen, and youngsters here, we will put the government on the right path. I'll do that. There's a couple issues were discussed with me. One being the kosher inspections by the state government. I don't see any reason that wouldn't be maintained. Second issue, I've been involved in for many, many years. My heart goes out to those thousands of children we take every year and put into our dysfunctional urban school districts. The shame of it. And the liberal progressives, they want to keep it all going. They have no shame. Well, I am all for vouchers. I'm all for tax credits. On the way there, we're going to continue to nurture and push for charter schools and hopefully loosen up the rules so that we can have religious charter schools. So you can count on me on that. I'm 100% with you on that issue. Third issue is the issue of gay marriage or civil unions. Many have heard me speak. I really, until tonight, I didn't really distinguish and comprehend the term civil union, but now I do. I fit that right in with the term of gay marriage. I don't have one iota of respect for that personally, and if the legislature should pass a bill calling for gay marriage or civil unions, I will veto it. I stand firmly, without exception, against any form of abortion. Sheldon Silver bothers me. So I'd be happy to take any questions anybody might have.
Adam Victor of the Jewish Week.
Hi, Mr. Paladino. In the Niagara Gazette article which I'm holding here, the quote that's attributed to is, quote, "If I could ever describe a person who would fit the bill of an Antichrist or Hitler, this guy is it." Now, as far as I know, Mr. Collins never used the term Hitler. So is that an accurate quote?
The quote is obviously taken out of context. I explained that the context of that was me explaining to the people that as soon as I had heard that Chris Collins had made the remark, I called him and I told him, I said, I know you, and we'll stand with you. That was, we know that that was never intended to be an anti-Semitic remark. You know, we understand that. We know Mr. Collins very well in Buffalo, New York, and we will stand
But
with
did
you.
you introduce the term Hitler, or was it his terminology?
I may have said the word Hitler, okay, but because I thought that it was his terminology. I think it was his terminology.
Looking back at it now, is it appropriate terminology?
No, it's not. It's not appropriate terminology, but certainly he is not anti-Semitic. And that was the gist of that statement that I was making to that group, is that I had asked Mr. Collins, and we were talking about Sheldon Silver at the time, all right? But I had asked Mr. Collins not to apologize because I saw no need to apologize because I'm sure that his intent was not in any way to act in an anti-Semitic way or to say anything anti-Semitic. He was trying to find words to describe the man Sheldon Silver.
So do you still stand behind or regret using the term Hitler?
I'm sorry?
Do you still, would you renounce now or affirm using the term Hitler? Comparison to
I
that?
can't renounce something that he said.
No, but you said Hitler.
I said the word in describing him, in describing what he said. I've never had an anti-Semitic bone in my body. Okay, I practice law in Buffalo, New York. I have many Jewish friends in Buffalo, New York. I have many developer friends. I just hung up the phone with Nate Benderson, a dear developer friend of mine. I don't have any anti-Semitic bone anywhere.
Mr. Dictum, I just jump in here. It's painfully obvious to the Orthodox Jewish community at large and to many New Yorkers, fair New Yorkers, that this was what's called, and you know politics, opposition research. This was dug out of nowhere. The man never said it. And basically, he understands, am I correct? He understands that the average Jew hearing anybody, no matter what, being referred to as a Nazi or a Hitler or an Antichrist is something that is insensitive to them, distasteful, and it's something certainly that you would
More than
never
distasteful,
initiate.
please.
It's
You can't say the word
it's
Hitler
out-
to anybody.
It's
When we spoke
outrageous,
earlier-
it's outrageous, and I don't
Rabbi
think
Levin, when we spoke earlier, it was clearly understood that Mr. Paladino never said the words. Mr. Paladino defended the person that had said it, but condemns those words itself.
I condemn the words. Okay, there's no question about that.
that's it. I
All
think
right,
it's
I have no anti-Semitism about me. I was describing my discussion with him because I know him better, and I was standing up for him. He is not an anti-Semite. He's a very good man, and he believes in all the same values that we do.
On the topic of civil unions, didn't you say earlier that you would support a referendum, a statewide referendum by the people?
And I was versed in, you see, I thought civil union meant that what civil laws have been amended up until now, and we're on the books right now, that would deal with gays and their relationships. I didn't understand that civil union was sort of like in the framework of a civil marriage or a Christian marriage. You know, I wasn't looking at it that. I don't believe that a civil marriage or a Christian marriage is appropriate in the gay community, and that's flat out. I mean, and I will veto any bill that should come before us. Just like that in California, they did, well, in California went to referendum, and they had some silly judge.
So you're changing your position in terms of a state referendum?
Pardon?
In terms of a voter referendum, you're changing that position? That you would not support that?
he's saying he's not encouraging any voter referendum.
I'm not encouraging any voter referendum,
And he's expressing
and I
what
will
happened in
veto
California.
any bill that comes to me. They're gonna have to have 2/3 of each house to overturn that veto.
But Mr. Victor, Mr. Paladino indicated to us upstairs that even when the people vote in a referendum, a homosexual activist judge overturns the will of the people. So if in other words, if Mr. Paladino is not, he has a large campaign to run, he's not just focusing on this issue. As he looks at this and he understands that we the people are being spiritually sodomized by this judicial system and a legislative system which is outrageously unconcerned with us raising our kids. So as Mr. Paladino learns more, we feel confident that he will do the right